Welcome back. Now, he is the first South African artist to sign a deal with Bob Marley's TuFF Gong international distribution, while his single VIVA Mandela Goes reached gold within 2.5 months of release and then platinum in 3 months. That's multi-platinum selling reggae and hip-hop artist Don Dada. Well, he joins us now to take us through his musical journey, as well as his album titled Alkebulan, which is Arabic for the land of the blacks. Good morning. Welcome to Morning Live.
Oh, thank you for having me.
How are you?
I'm so well. What a pleasure to be here with you right now.
It's so good to have you. I mean, take us back to where it all started for you musically.
Oof.
When did this relationship with music start?
You know what? This is a long journey for me. So it started at the age of 13. That was my first professional release on a hip-hop magazine entitled Hype Magazine. The song was called For What It's Worth. And from then, you know, I've always been in love with music, so it's just grown with me. I went and I studied at Academy of Sound Engineering, and I've taken that into my trade. And now, as you see me, I'm a reggae artist and just loving life.
Why the switch, though? And when you appeared on Hype, was it hip-hop?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was.
And the switch?
Well, you know, for me, I don't really see much of a difference between hip-hop and reggae music because if you look at the origins of hip-hop, it was started by a Jamaican immigrant in New York City using the sound system culture of Jamaica that now becomes hip-hop that we know. So for me, it's like going back to the original roots of hip-hop by doing reggae.
What is it about reggae music that speaks to who you are and the message that you're trying to drive?
Well, you know, reggae music is, for a lot of people, a lot more than just the music. It speaks to social cohesion. It's a spiritual music. It speaks to a culture. It's a music of love, a phrase that was coined by Marcus Garvey and made famous by Bob Marley is the term one love. And that's quite a huge statement in reggae music. So with all of that in mind, reggae music is way more than people perceive it to be.
Yeah. Talk to us about Viva Mandela Goes. How did that come about? And I mean, it did so well for you.
100%. Viva Mandela was an absolute pleasure for me to record. I was commissioned by MTN to celebrate the 100th year birthday of Tata Nelson Mandela. I recorded the song, I think it took me a week to record it. I read The Long Walk to Freedom within that week. And then I summarized the book into a 3-minute song. And it's been such a blessing. I mean, for a song to go multi-platinum in the space of 3 months, you could argue that it's a little bit of that Madiba magic, right? Yeah.
Why do you think it did so well, though?
Well, it's a song that brings up a lot of respect for one of our global icons. I mean, Tata Nelson Mandela is a man that no matter where you go in the globe is well respected and loved. It also has so many different elements from South Africa and namely from the Xhosa culture. So I use a lot of the traditional instruments on the production of the beats, and I use a hip-hop style of the beat. So it's quite a hybrid because you have cultural music but done with a hip-hop style. And it's bigging up a huge figure in our history. So I think that's kind of the elements that lifted it so high. Yeah.
I want to talk about your album. Tell us a little bit about that.
Alkebulan, man, one of my favorite works so far. As you said, Land of the Black People. It's our original indigenous name for Africa before anybody as colonialists set any foot on this continent. So for me, it was a point of pride and something to bring a talking point to the youth out there, because a lot of us don't really know our history as a continent. So I thought that this is a way to begin the conversation of unity and oneness, because the borders that are enforced are not borders that we placed ourselves. So I wanted to go back to a time when we were all one.
Yeah. What other themes do you address with this album?
Well, I go through so many different things. As I say, spirituality, we speak to the young ladies about women empowerment. I speak to the youth about, you know, dedication, education. It's also, music is obviously entertainment, so there's some good time songs on there as well. And I encompass everything that I encounter in my life. I think that life is the greatest inspiration, and to be able to put it down in different aspects from track 1 to track 12 is quite a blessing. So if you have a listen to Alkebulan, I think you'll go on a journey of my life for a year.
Yeah. And what lessons came with working on this project?
Well, you know, it was quite a blessing because on that project I have production by a man by the name of Sir Coxsone Dodd. This is the man who broke out Bob Marley. Bob Marley used to sleep on his couch, and he's the creator of Studio One in Jamaica. Studio One is the biggest studio in Jamaica, bringing you all of the big legends that you know. So for him to have a song produced on my album, it's incredible. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. And then to be walking in the footsteps of greats such as Carlos JJ, or we look at the late great Lucky Dube, that's even more incredible because Lucky Dube is such a huge icon. When you go to Jamaica, the love and respect that they have for him is amazing. So for me, it's like carrying on a legacy.
What for you did this symbolize in your journey? Because, I mean, you're going through different stages, the Mandela music as well, then this album. What chapter of your life is this one?
I think you would look at more maturity, consciousness. As a youth, you know, hip-hop is a very brash genre. It's about bravado, ego. Reggae music is minus all of that. So I've reached a stage where I have now become an artist that wants to make music for the entire nation, for any age group, from the oldest to the youngest, and any ethnicity. And I think that it's reflected in these works.
What's been the response to the album?
Oh, it's been so much love everywhere I go. I mean, the first question is, what is Alkebulan, which was the main aim by naming it that. And the second thing is that people just can't believe that we've got such great music coming out of Africa and South Africa that they have not been listening to. So for all the people out there, have a listen and see what you're missing out on.
Yeah. I read somewhere you also worked with Seed. How did that come about? Tell us a bit.
Oh, that's a young lady from Eastern Cape, Seed Under, a Kwaito artist. Now, the last time I was in Eastern Cape, I had gone on the radio and I made a promise that I'm going to uplift an artist from here the next time you see me. And when I left, I found a young lady and I took her under my wing. We created so many beautiful songs together, and I actually took her to Jamaica with me. Jamaica, Kenya, Tanzania, Malawi, a lovely little tour, giving her a little bit of exposure to the world out there. And it's just, she's become my sister. In fact, you remind me of Seed quite a bit.
Okay, tell us about the two songs that you're going to perform for us.
Okay, so I will be performing a song entitled No More. No More is talking about all of the social ills that are going on around us, which I think is quite pertinent in this time and space that we face, and especially on the news show, you see so many things going on. So No More is just saying that as a nation, we cannot stand for gender-based violence. We cannot stand for the poverty. We cannot stand for the crime. We cannot stand for all of these things that are negatively affecting us. And then my next song, One for Another, is basically taking the concept of Ubuntu and putting it into words, saying that we build each other up. You do for me and I do for you. One for another. All
right. Don Dada, thank you so much for talking to us. We look forward to the two performances from you. Multi-platinum selling reggae and hip-hop star Don Dada taking us through his musical journey, as well as his album titled Alkebulan, which is Arabic for the land of the blacks. All right, quick